Twin Glock strapped to my hip. Waiting for the ops, waiting for the dip. Got the drip on me, and she take a sip. Doing shit you never see, like a dream of crib. Got a shorty in the club.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the INeedFood podcast with your boy, The Hype. I got a very, very special guest with me this afternoon, this evening, everything above. I got my homegirl, Bowie, a.k.a. BClutchhh, a.k.a. The Asian. I don't know what name to call you today. And I got WaliWorld in the building. How you guys are doing?
Happy to be here.
Hey, man. All right.
Hey, let's go.
Hold up. It's going to keep on going. Keep on going. There we go. Finally settling in. I'm happy to have y'all here, man. It's been a while. BClutchhh. I had you on here when I was on my third episode. I told you, I was like, when we going to run it back, I'm going to have video. I got you here on video. I got you here with Wali. We're going to talk about WolfPacc MG. We're going to unpack on a lot of things. But the first thing we always talk about on this podcast, how is your mental health today?
Honestly, my mental has been like fucked up.
Talk about it.
Well, like I'm pretty sure, like I kind of like been sharing about it, but my grandma had recently passed.
I'm sorry to hear that. I remember I condolences to that. I know that's a very big thing for you. Your grandma lived in the house with y'all.
Yeah.
Like I never got a chance to meet her, but I know you always had stories for her. So
yeah, so it's still hard because I mean grieving. I don't know how to grieve. I don't think anyone really has answers on how to properly grieve. We all grieve differently, and that's fine. So like some days, like whatever okay is, I'm that, and then other days I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't even want to exist in a way, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So like, and then like the other day, like I was driving, I forgot where I was going, but I was just in my head as I always am, and then something hit me, and I realized I'm grieving a lot more than I currently am, and these feelings have just been like really heavy. So.
No, I feel it. Has music, because I know you've been working with the boys and everything, has that helped kind of like subset kind of some of those things?
Yeah, I told them like, because I mean, honestly, like WolfPacc and like the guys and everything, they've been amazing to me. They allowed me to have my space, yet like make sure that I'm, you know, still involved and like up to date with what's going on and everything.
Word.
And I told them like I'm ready to come back, and they were just like, yo, we miss you. We're ready for you to come back, because I just need some type of outlet to channel all of this energy and all these pent up feelings, and just kind of be able to organize it better.
No, I feel it, man. I know that's a hard thing. I'm still going through it with my pops, so I definitely understand. Like, you're going to have days where you're going to be like, man, like I just don't want to do it, and then you're gonna have days where it's like I just really like I want to be out with people. Like I remember, I don't want to say comparison of stories, but it's like I went out to my boy's party, his birthday party, 2 days afterwards. Everybody was shocked I was there. I was like, nah, I need to get out the house. Like I need to get out, because if you're there, you're gonna be in that feeling. You're gonna be there. So having work a little bit helps, but it's also time management and everything. So I definitely understand about that. Wally, how you doing, bro? How's your mental?
I would say it's been good. Just, you know, normal things like work stresses, but that's about it. Yeah.
Nah, I get it, man. You just starting up a whole imprint with WolfPacc MG. I know that stuff is stressful. We're going to talk about it a little bit more, but I need to get a little bit more about each of y'all, actually. So my first question to your mom, but follow up after that is, when did y'all know you fell in love with hip-hop?
That would be when I first moved from Pakistan to the United States. I would be playing like the PS2 with my cousin, and then also he was doing like music production at the time. So he's kind of like the one who put me onto hip hop, and from there, like just how people was expressing themselves and stuff, I just fell in love with it immediately. So
from the PS2, that's a while. Now we're on the 5 now. That's different.
It was like I remember, if you remember that T.I. song, 24s on the Fast and Furious game.
Yeah.
That was the first song, like hip hop America. Yeah.
Where
I ever heard, I think. Yeah.
Now a little bit deeper. Do you remember what game that was on? Cause I'm thinking that either Madden or Need for Speed.
No, it was Fast to Furious.
Oh, Fast and Furious. Oh, I know what you're talking about. BClutchhh, what about you?
I think growing up with brothers, they've always listened to hip hop, and just being around my brothers, hanging out with my brothers at a young age, like that's what I would listen to, and so I think like just growing up, it was always been a part of my childhood, and plus like, you know, like my friends and everything, like they'll always listen to hip hop music too. So.
Word. Who is your biggest influences? Cause you got different tastes. You got DMV taste, and then you went up to Pittsburgh. You got a whole different flow up there. So what's your taste like? I'm more intrigued by.
I mean, when I actually first started out as a rapper, so that's a fun fact.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So I was rapping at first, but I didn't want to like really rap like anybody else. I think my biggest influences were like Michael Jackson, The Weeknd, and like Lil Uzi Vert.
Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, just because of like his style and originality from what he was doing. You feel me?
Word. What about you, BClutchhh?
I think we talked about this.
Yeah,
this
is a repeat of the 2 hour long episode. Y'all need to check out episode, I think 3 or 4, with you, and that was a split into a 2-parter because we talked all night long. But
wow.
yeah,
But yeah, it was like Johnny Range and Janae Aiko, her. Yeah, just like I'm a very R&B like head, so like my influence is like around that.
Word. Nah, I get it. Everybody got a different type of flow, and especially with a Janae Aiko, it's like that kind of melody kind of flow kind of thing. So I can definitely understand that. But like you said, we got to know you a little bit. You actually, this is how everything came to happen, guys. So I actually had someone else supposed to be here, but everything happens for a reason. No worries about that. Shout out to my guy. He know who he is. I actually hit you up, like I was like, hey, I got a spot. And we were already talking about trying to get you on here, and timing didn't work out. And then y'all actually dropped everything and able to come up on here and talk about the imprint. But it's more talking about you, Wali, because I know you've been producing for a little bit. You have a couple hits out here. What do you aim to make a beat? Like, where's your goal for a beat?
I feel like it works better when it's natural and you don't have a, like, not really a thought process. Like, of course, I'm doing some things, but I don't really like, I just kind of let the music take me to that end goal, you feel me? I don't really like think too deep to it.
Okay. When did you decide to be more of a producer than a rapper? Because everybody's like, I'm a rap, I'm gonna do this, but then you were like, I want to be the man behind the keyboard.
Yeah, it honestly happened like, it randomly, I just needed beats, as a rapper, and like, to me, the beats people were making weren't like good enough, like for me to wanted to rap on. Not to sound like mad weird and shit. No, I don't mean that any way at all. But like, they didn't like rock with the beats that I was like listening to at YouTube and stuff all the time. So from there, I downloaded FL Studio. I had a cousin up in Toronto who was already kind of doing it with the production stuff. Asked him for some that advice, and then just started from there. Cooking every day. Yeah.
So it came out for natural flow and everything. Do you remember when you sold your first beat? Was it when you were still a rapper, or were you more like, I'm going full-time beat mode?
Yeah, it was full-time producer. It was like, honestly, like not even too long ago. I would say like about 2-3 years ago is probably when I sold my first beat.
Word, 2-3 years ago. And you've worked with a lot of people since that. I know I'm gonna mix this up, but I'm gonna get to that point in a second. Do you still have that feeling when you make that beat? Like when you get you got a banger, like I need to hear it in someone's call right now, that kind of time?
Yeah, because like you'll just start freestyling yourself when like you'll see a lot of producers when they're just like humming to their self or murmuring words, that like, oh, you got a hit on your hands. When the producer starts rapping, like that's not his thing, you feel me? Like, so that's when I know personally I got a hit on my hand when I start even rapping to it, you feel me?
Real, man. I don't rap at all. That's one of the talents I do not have. I stand up, I got this. I do not rap whatsoever. I'm corny when it comes to that.
No, but that's the goal. It's like I want to even be able to play a beat for like say someone like you who doesn't rap at all, or that's not your interest, and it make you want to rap too, you feel me?
Gotcha.
So it doesn't matter if you rap at all, it's just the music's so good you just start like dancing and grooving and rapping to it, you feel me?
Is that the same feeling you have when you hear a beat?
Yeah, like I think production is very vital. It's the best part of music. Without production, I mean, you wouldn't have music, let's be real. Yeah. So like, I like beats, like being in the studio and everything, like when he's when he's cooking up something, like I said, like when he plays it back, like, yo, like check y'all fuck with this. And even in the process, when you like just see him like adding different sounds and instruments and like just doing what he does on the computer is literally magic. And it's just like, oh my God, like you're listening to like 500 different sounds within like 30 seconds, and you're just like watching this man as he's just clicking away and like doing this and like seeing things get dragged here, getting cut here, and you're just like amazed, and you just rock with it,
So do you approach that as like a think tank? You got to use some of the people, because I've seen some of the pictures online. It's like you and the whole crew in there, and y'all just like vibing for like 4 or 5 hours.
Nah, it would most likely how our kind of like blueprint is completely different from how everybody else works. We actually just cook up the beat from scratch, and then the artist starts writing the like song there, and then we kind of come up together to make the melody. Like there's a big difference between producer and a beat maker too. So a beat maker would be someone who just sends a beat out, but like at WolfPacc, we actually produce the records. Like all of our producers, they're like, nah, I feel like this melody could be better here, or like this verse could go better here at this part. So we're trying to do that. We're never like just picking random beats and hoping something sticks. We're like really methodically making these songs.
Word, man. I think that's you gotta have a collaborative effort. I think especially with the artists, you're definitely right about that. Producing is definitely different than a beat maker. A beat maker, you're sending it out. You can do whatever you want. When you can have someone, your other guys, engineers mess with it, but that's my beat. But you have other people that are just like, nah, I'm gonna work with this all the way through. My follow up to that, man. Hold on, my whole notes just like went down. What lessons have you learned with that? Like, what is the main lessons have you learned as a producer?
I would say it's more like through music, it just taught me more patience.
Okay.
More like some things don't work out for how you want it to for the first couple of years, or just how your beats sounded. You know, you have to put the hours and grind in and actually get that to happen. Sometimes like the ways of like, I've met people where I'm like, oh man, once this guy hears my beat, he's gonna instantly rap on it. But that sometimes it doesn't go like that, you know. So you just gotta have to have that like inner patience with yourself. I feel like that's the biggest thing I learned. Patience.
Was the patience really learned in that first year? Like for both of y'all in y'all professions, like was that first year the hardest?
I would say it was a little bit after the first year, because for me the first 3 years actually of music weren't like completely not dedicated to music, but it was doing something differently with the music. So when I first started, it was like production, and then the next year I did engineering, and then the third year I like did the business side, like learned the business side of it, and then kind of put it all together.
Which we're going to talk more and more about that later. What about you? What was the first year the hardest for you in terms of being the artist?
I think, well, so like I do different things that pertains to art. So like I think the first like few years were kind of a little easy for me, just because I started modeling when I was 16, and I had some experience working with agents and stuff, and like, you know, going to like bookings and all that. I think when I started like freelancing and getting back into it, it was a little bit tough starting out as a freelancer, because you have to literally network and you have to talk to people and you have to really want it and go after it. Yeah. You know, like you don't really have a team per se to like help you get to the next step. Like you have to make things happen in order for you to take the next step. So word.
I definitely understand that. Have you kind of, of course, with the family thing, I know you haven't really been thinking about music, but have you been cooking up with WolfPacc? Or you been doing your normally admin work lately?
So actually, no. I don't think right now my focus on making music, although I do still write to as like a release, because that's what I make music for anyways. But no, my role in WolfPacc is I'm the A&R and the artist management. So it's different, but because I've always like been my own creative director and everything, I've always kind of like managed myself. And plus like what I do outside of like my passions, like my 9 to 5 and stuff, like I just feel like I can just bridge these gaps together and use all my resources and my skill set to make things happen. And for them to trust me to be in this role, I don't know, it just gives me that extra motivation to like. Do
you think being an artist actually helps you be in that role because you've been in their shoes?
Yeah,
and have like, that experience?
Exactly, because like, because now like I'm on both sides of the fence, you know, and for the fact that I'm dipping my toes in these waters, like it just kind of helps me grow as an artist myself. I'm able to like connect with the artists. I'm able to kind of like see where they're coming from, and then also on the other side like learn more stuff that would like help me, and everything just ties together. So I think this is great for myself and just like where I'm going in the trajectory, and everything's just gonna like tie back together because things always comes back and forth.
Yeah, it always comes back around. You know, like always, what you do in the beginning, sometimes at the end is like it helps you learn along the way. Back to Wali. So we kept on. I'm dodging around artists and all that. No, it's cool, man. 'Cause I'm bouncing between both of y'all. Yeah. I saw on your page. I didn't see the song, but I saw on the page you worked with Wiz Khalifa and Chevy Woods, and that's big inspirational people for us. I saw the picture and everything. How was it being a whole studio with Wiz, which is just like having that still like little kid feeling like, man, this is Wiz Khalifa, but I was like, oh shit, I got work.
No, it was amazing. It's all thanks to my manager and also like the co-founder of WolfPacc, Don Lito. He's the one who kind of put it all together and got me into those rooms. It was like I wasn't starstruck when I first met him, like or anything like that. Not normally with people, but when I saw his like music making abilities of like how he just writes and how he like I would say for Wiz specifically, like that's what really like, you know, opened my eyes to like, wow, this is a really good artist, you know.
Word. How was it working with Chevy Woods?
That was an amazing thing too, because like I lived in Pittsburgh for a little bit, so to hear some stories from like the same places that we've all been like, you know, to and from, like things like that was cool to hear. So just getting advices and the little gems, I think was the best thing, and Chevy had like a lot to offer for that.
Nice, man. I think those OGs definitely gonna help you out along the way. Those seems like the type of guys that they'll take chances on, not say take a chance, but listen to younger artists and producers and want to get that new sound in, and having that experience and being able to ask those questions is a very, very major key. Like you gotta know like the tracks of the game. I know Wiz probably gave you some tips. Like, and back to your co-founder of WolfPacc, we're gonna get into that now. How did WolfPacc came about? Like let's wind that back. How did you meet your co-founder?
The funny story is, so he's actually from like where the whole Taylor gang started. He's actually part of Taylor gang. He's the one who actually linked Chevy and Wiz together when they first actually were like little and shit. He was the one who made that all happen. But yeah, no, I had moved back from Pittsburgh because like COVID and everything had hit. There's crazy riots going on there, but I just was back home and making music for a while, and then I had a homie hit me up that he just wanted me to mix this record. And then he ended up producing it, but he went by another name at the time, so I didn't know it was him actually, because he went by like Freeze at the time, so I didn't know who it was. Actually Don Lito who had made the record, and from there we just had started like working more and talking more, and everything was like super natural. We just work like just some homies like collaborating on records and stuff like that. I'd take trips back up to Pittsburgh, go to the studio, the Taylor Gang studio, and make records with him and stuff like that.
How's the experience in Taylor Gang studio?
It's honestly it's crazy, man. It can go either way for you if you don't got like a good head on your shoulder. Like my manager's brother is actually surgeon, so he's the one who did like all of Kush and OJ early like Wiz stuff. Yeah. He's making beats there too, and sometimes it could be like a little bit discouraging because you'll hear Sledger make like 10 beats and all of them are like really good, you know. And then you're like, dang, I don't even know if my one sounds as good to 10 he just made. You know?
Yo, that must be like. I mean, you expect that from a label. You expect that from a music group. You're not. Everyone's supposed to be the best, but then you go also have those little in fight rivalries. I would say like you guys are brothers, but it's like I want to be better than you. Like, and that's how I respect.
It's not even like better than you, because like, bro, that guy's like goated forever. Like,
of course he's goated because of Kush and OJ.
It's not even better, but it's like I just want to be able to soak up as much as game I could possibly think. I want to win more with them rather than be in competition.
Nah, I get that. My competition is like I have that. My way of competition is more like Kendrick Lamar type of thing. Like I want to or J. Cole's. Like I want to battle it with my people, but I want to be on top. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there ain't nothing disregarding them, but I just want to be the person on top. So that's how I see competition. But I definitely understand that kind of thing. Like you want to be not in competition, you want to just learn and level up with these guys as well. Exactly, yeah. So when you met Don Lito. All right, I was about going Don Tito. I'm like, this ain't the alcohol, y'all. But nah, I don't want no disrespect on the man. So how did it form WolfPacc? Because you were like, I moved back home. It's like I need something based out here for myself and learn that other side of the game.
Honestly, that's not even how the plan was going. I was just like a young producer, and one thing like all young producers have is they're chasing placements, you know. So, Me and him were like just a homie, and like we were making songs together and working out of Pittsburgh, like going to see him and stuff, and just talking on the phone, trying to make stuff happen. Eventually, he just told, like, later on, I found out about like the whole Tater Gang thing from him, and like how close he is with them. So he just knew it would be a perfect opportunity to kind of place me with these guys and get records with them as well.
Nice.
So just that's kind of how WolfPacc happened. Like, he brought me around and stuff, and then songs were already happening, but I just told him, like, yeah, I want to make something like our own label where we control everything. And he was fully with it, you know.
No, man, and that's definitely, you want ownership. I strive for everybody get your ownership. Like, I strive for that because it's like something that you want to own for yourself. And good, congratulations, by the way, because you just signed your first artist, along with having the label out. For, I think I followed you guys when it first started dropping like 3-4 months ago. And then you guys got your first artist. So how was that like build from 3 months? You just dropped 3 singles. Now you got your first artist.
I mean, overall, it's been a lot to deal with, you know. Just because right now I'm trying to manage the producer career, also help out my artists that I just signed, Justice and Kwame, and then just make sure that everything at the studio is running properly.
Gotcha.
It's a lot to juggle, but I wouldn't trade it for anything realistically.
Nah, man, you want to be busy like that. You want to have that outlet like that. I actually listened. I think, what was the second guy's name? Kwame, that he just did Damaged, correct? I actually like Damaged. I went back and saw the other guy that you guys had with Thank You, and I was like, those are 2 different beats. Like, so can you break down, like, how did you come up with both of those beats?
I think Justice did like an acapella for Thank You, or he had recorded it to something like previously before, and then we were just like, nah, this totally like needs a different beat, you know. We want to make it everything our production, so we just stripped the vocals from the song that he had originally made and then made a completely new beat.
Oh wow.
And then that came about, and it was just like every time we would open up the session, we'd just be adding more things to it, and like, yo, this sounds good here, and doing more things. Like, that's what we always do, is open beats back up and make literally every part sound like a moment, you know. For the Kwame song, that was very organic. That was something we like cooked up on the spot, and then he kind of just did his thing on the track, and those just came out, you know.
Nah, like they just came out. I actually banged Damage a little bit earlier today, trying to listen to that a little bit more. What's
actually wild? Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead, bro.
What's wild about those 2 songs were they're actually recorded in my mom's garage.
No, literally, like
they were literally, and now
man,
they're doing really well. Both of them are, you know, I'm very proud of them, and just a quick amount of time, both of them are doing really, really well.
Nice, man, nice. Now, how did they come to you? Did you find these guys?
No. So Kwame, like, a lot of people know him probably by like different names and stuff. I'm not gonna want to name drop, so like, and that's my artist, so like, I'm not gonna disrespect him like that. So I've known him since high school, and he told me like where he was recording at, and he asked Wali if I can like come through and stuff, and like, you know, just sit in the session, and like, so we can like see each other and like hang out, whatever. So I happened to go to that session when they were recording Damage, and then Wally was telling me like his plan and what he wants to do and how he wants me to be part of it, and like this is me and Wally's like our first time meeting. And like and I'm just like, you want me like to be part of this? Like, all right, like I'm with it. So this was what, like 6 months ago, like back in like November type shit, and now we're here. So Derek, the other manager of WolfPacc, he knows Kwame, and like he knows Wali too. So they, I guess, somehow like all got together.
It's just family things.
Yeah.
So like
it's one big family. It honestly all started from my guy Derek. Shout out to him. Like, really appreciate him. Does a lot for our team. He's another one of the artist managers and A&Rs too. But he kind of put me and Kwame together because I think he already known that I was just doing the music thing, you know, and he knew that Kwame wants to do the music thing more seriously. And then he just kind of connected the dots.
Right. So have y'all started to think about doing music videos for those things yet? Or is this like more the lines of like trying to get the album kind of wrapped up first, or mixtape, whatever you guys are doing first with that?
Yeah, there's a whole plan to it. It's just like right now we're trying to create a fan base and get more people to know about us. And the best way to do that is creating singles. But definitely we do have some plans for videos coming out soon.
Nice. Well, I'm trying to go with this. So with Wolf, like, how big is your studio? Because you guys just got it. I saw you guys got different rooms in there. There's like a whole chill out room. There's a whole music room.
Yeah.
So how big is it?
We actually have like I think it's 20,000. Yeah, like I think it's like a pretty massive building. You know, I would just say it's. And then it used to be an old
16,000.
16,000. Yeah, it used to be an old Department of Justice building or something. So actually, in the bottom of it, there's tanks and stuff still.
Really?
Yeah.
They haven't cleared it out.
Yeah. So
Wow. So you actually been not been down,
I haven't like personally been down there,
but that's what they said.
Well, I've seen the tanks. You go around back too, you can see the tanks.
Yeah.
But it's wicked. I love the place, man. But it's with this other studio that we partnered up with. They're actually a non-profit foundation, do lessons to Fairfax County XRJ Foundation. And
Okay.
really grateful for them too, letting us kind of incubate their space as well too.
Nice.
So we have like a live room there. We have like actually our office there, and then we also have another bigger studio there as well too. So, but we want to make it a space where it's like kind of like how Atlanta has a thing, everybody just goes to one spot and there's multiple studios there and everybody records out there. That's what we want to do. And if we come across good talent, we want to potentially sign them.
Yeah, can you shout out where your studio is located real quick? I know a lot of people gonna be watching. It's like, oh man, I want to go to that studio.
Yeah. So we're actually located in Chantilly.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
So
right by the Wegmans.
yeah. But no, we just recently opened up. We've been in business for about 2 months.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic.
And y'all doing deals right now on beats, right? Because I think it was like $50 beats right now.
I mean, right now we're doing studio time just to start off
Oh,
with
so
$50 an hour. But anybody who wants, there's really serious about their craft.
There's a package.
Yeah, you just
Good word.
work with me and contact me or DM me if someone's ever serious. Sometimes, like for me, I don't even be selling beats like that. I'll just keep it honest with you. I'm like, my management probably hates this. But, like for real, if I fuck with the music or if I really like it and I want to work with you, I will literally work with you.
Word. I like that aspect. You're not really trying to take it as like, hey, I just want to take. Everyone's looking for the money.
Yeah,
and there ain't wrong with that. Everybody looking for the bag, but there's ways to get the bag.
Right.
And there's ways to do it respectfully and ways to build it up respectfully that you earned it. And there's ways to you just try and make quick money. I actually like that idea, man. So how big is the team? Because I know you got Derek, you got BClutchhh over here, you got Wali, you got the other artists.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's a lot. We got, you feel me, a lot of people and a lot of working hands. I want to, thank again my manager, Don Lito. From him, we get a lot of resources too, him working close side with Tagging. So the team is very, very big. You feel me? It spans out from the West Coast. We got even people in Toronto as well too.
Gotcha.
Shout out another producer of ours, Harmonics. He's out there. And yeah, no, I mean, it's just the ever-growing thing. It's a big family, you feel me?
Word.
So it's never going to stop growing type of thing.
So what's the plans for the summer for the group? What you got cooking up for the summer? Hey, the summertime and the wintertime are the best times for music. Because the summertime, you guys get all the releases, you got all the singles. So what y'all cooking up right now?
Right now, the plan is to just keep dropping more singles, but we want to have enough of a noise build to where we plan to go on our own tour.
Nice.
Thankfully to God.
Nice.
Hopefully to God.
Word. So is there any, because you say you're forever expanding, is there any kind of artist you're kind of looking for right now in terms of the group?
We kind of had to talk about this actually recently, and right now we just kind of want to focus on Justice and Kwame because we want to make sure that foundation is set before we expand out too much further because we don't want things to get messed up or juggle too much on our plate. Because like Wali was explaining, he has a lot right now that he's trying to balance
juggle
out.
And everything.
Right. So, but we're always welcoming, artists and stuff. I'm always listening and I'm on the lookout and just to see to explore and keep our options open.
That's big facts. Big facts. What do you see the hardest lesson of all this has been so far?
I would say for me to start. I don't know if you had anything to say.
No, go ahead. You got it.
not to sound like weird or rude, but dealing with other people's emotions.
That's the biggest thing with business that I'm trying to learn as well.
Yeah. And being like, sometimes, you know, like we're all human. You can have a good day and a bad day. And sometimes like you have a bad day, but just again, dealing with someone else's emotions. I think I'm getting really like better at that. I wasn't someone that was really good with dealing with my emotions, but just knowing the manner that I have to move in now and be more professional, that like I can't just be like, you know, going wild or throwing tantrums or something if something doesn't go my way. So learning that and just instilling like leadership across like everybody that's around me too. You feel me?
Yeah, that's good. I definitely agree with the whole. You got to manage emotions. Like, this is just me right now. I got, not just me. I got my boy 825. I got my homegirl Ari, Queen Ari, who just dropped a song. Both of my other co-hosts, they do music. I'm the only one that's not musically inclined.
Man,
You just tell jokes.
I've literally asked like the people I work with. I've taken people who've never made a song in their life, and they've made some stuff that is Billboard record quality. You feel me? So like, literally pop on by and we can maybe do a podcasting, so something like that at the studio.
I definitely would love to come by. I think honestly, I'm one of those comedians that like, I'll go up to a whole studio session just to bullshit with y'all, because it's a chill fucking time.
Yeah.
And you might have a bar in there. The bar might get used. You get a little piece of the song with you.
Exactly.
You go home at 3 a.m. and get some IHOP and you call it a fucking day, right? So it's like, I definitely understand that, but managing emotions is a big thing. And I understand the temperament artists is different. So not putting my peoples to the side, but dealing with different people and different ways how to communicate is very essential. Like, I tell them all the time, like, I'm very, very text happy. Like, if I have an idea, I just say it, because if I don't say it, I'm going to forget it. And I've been called out a little bit on that. That's no problem to me, because I know I'm obsessive. And that's how you have to learn. So that's, for me, it's like dialing back a little bit, understanding like who I'm talking to, how I'm handling it. So I'm definitely on that same wave as you. What about you?
I think for me personally, it's just shifting gears and having to lead people and earning their trust to just earning them trust to make them successful or like help them become successful. I think it's the biggest lesson I'm currently learning, because like I said, I used to do things for like myself, and like I have a team now, you know, like I'm managing somebody else, like I'm, you know, giving them direction. I'm trying to get them down to the right path. And I think like in putting myself or being in a leadership role is something that I feel like I can do. And there's people around me that have always believed in me. It's just I never had the opportunity to do it until now. So it's an eye opener.
It's different, right? Because you say like you walked in that studio and it's like, hey, you got a job opportunity. You're like, what?
Right. She didn't even know that first of like what we were like. I was, because from what I don't know, I could like really read into something as far as like I know what someone wants to do deep down inside. So from the first initial conversations I was having with her, I could tell she was like really about this.
Word.
She might not have seen it yet of what was to come for her in the road she was about to be on, but like when I first met her, I could see like there's a small little fierce person in there, and like we just need to put him in the right position.
You got somebody. I'm gonna be honest with you. You got somebody that's gonna be in your corner regardless, because BClutchhh is always 100, always 100. And if you need a mouthpiece, she'll definitely be a mouthpiece for you.
I know.
She'll definitely. She won't, and she'll say what she has to say. And someone's going to get cussed out. It's a funny ass time, I'll tell you that. But she the homie, man. We go back ways. It seems like everybody, what I've loved and what I love about hearing about this story, y'all, is that we all picking back from people from high school we mess with, and we're like, nah, we want to be on that. I tell everybody, you want to be on that Learjet with me, we want to go on there, we're going to fuck with it. So I definitely take you up on that studio offer. Hell, if y'all doing the studio tonight, I definitely go by and come through tonight. Yeah. You know how I do it. Yeah. Shoot, man, I'm trying to think what else we got going on. Because we can get in some pod deck questions, we can get in some off the cuffs questions, but I think I got 7 more minutes of where I can get out y'all before we go there. I'm trying to think of something. Collabs, have y'all really done any like major collabs with other artists in the area, or you have plans of doing collabs with people soon?
we have been working closely with one of a really big artist. He's actually signed to a label out in Houston which is their part of Empire. His name's Wali Culture, and he's been working someone closely with us. He just had a couple big records drop too, so he just
had an album drop too recently.
Yeah,
word, nice.
Shout out to Mr. Culture.
Yeah, he always shows love, and so that's what's up with him. And he just had a track with Juicy J come out, and
Nice.
Producer named Big Bird. He's like I would say like Dr. Dre of like Punjabi music. He's like that big.
Oh, he's that big.
Yeah, he like one of his videos did like 433 million views. Yeah, it's like that type of level.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's nutty. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I got one more because we did this off camera, and now we got you on camera. So you're from the DMV and you moved up to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And the circumstance of you doing that was because originally your parents didn't. The career we have chosen, it was not their problem. Can you break that down a little bit? Because I think we all have been there.
Yeah, no, so I'm from like, my background is Pakistani, and I'm like Muslim too and practicing. And for us, it's a very like, if our parents, they just want to make sure you're straight, in life. So if you're not choosing something that guaranteeing a check at the end of the day, they're not going to be too happy with it. You feel me? So they had some options on the table for me, like, yo, you should become lawyer, doctor, accountant, IT, the typical like brown dude stuff, bro. But,
I mean, I'm black, I'm in IT. I'm a very few, but we up there.
Yeah. I mean, but like, that's just something our parents like told us to do because that's what they know is secure. You feel me? Nothing wrong on them or whatever. But from there, I had moved out when I was like 18 to Pittsburgh, and I lived with my brother for a time there, and he still wasn't cool with me doing music too because he was just more like, yo, you need to get your foundation right and do everything. But from there, I just started popping up in random studios. Literally the first day I moved there, I looked up what's the best studios. I already knew ID Labs was popping. I was trying to call there all the time, trying to get a session in. But like they had nobody working or like just people you had to contact. I just didn't know them at the time, But eventually started going there, started going to more studios out there, and then kind of built a name for myself. But even like, I'd say more things have happened to me once I moved back home.
Really?
To my hometown than actually being out there.
That's great. So, but the session you had with Wiz was in Pittsburgh?
No, in LA actually.
Word.
Yeah, so I actually went out to LA for a month, and I actually was doing like crazy shit. Microdose of mushrooms was on, like crazy stuff. We went to like different events as well too that he took us out to and things like that. So it was an amazing time, and I was just blessed for that opportunity to literally listen to him like from a kid and to like kind of work with him.
Nice. So hold on. So I might be a little bit different now. So the Taylor Gang Studio is out in LA, not Pittsburgh.
No, they actually have a studio out in Pittsburgh. It's called ID Labs.
Oh, the ID Labs.
Yeah,
okay.
that's literally where everybody, Mac Miller started off from too, and Wiz did too, and that's where my manager had actually met Wiz for the first time.
Gotcha.
And then that's a studio out there, but they be using different studios in LA.
Of course. I mean, LA got tons. It's like
everything.
Like everything. You're going to run into somebody out that way. Did you ever get a chance to run into Mac Miller?
Nah, man, I didn't.
Damn.
Yeah, unfortunately, like he's forever goated in my book, and my what's it called, manager's brother, Sledger, he worked with him. Sorry, all the time, all the time with him. So that's someone I really wanted to work with as well.
Nice.
Too,
it is just so unfortunate with that happening.
Yeah,
I definitely don't get that. Do you plan on like taking the guys up there, like from WolfPacc go to ID Live?
I mean, we are definitely planning trips to Pittsburgh just because like we work so closely with tagging all the time. So most people, they're about to go because we always need hands. Like there's always things happening. Like even right now, we got like 6 singles we're working on to drop, like do like batch uploads and upload them all at once. So there's always work to be needed and done.
All right, one more thing about Pittsburgh. We're going to get some random questions. What's the best Philly cheesesteak?
Philly cheesesteak? Actually, in Pittsburgh, it's not best Philly cheesesteak. It's, I would say, like, the pizza, bro. There's like
pizza?
There's like a big war between the pizzas. Like, just so many different poppin' pizza places.
Is it like a brick and oven kind of type of thing?
Yeah. So there's like just this one I had favorite in downtown. It was called Giovanni's.
But Giovanni's a Philly's cheesesteak place though, isn't it?
No. This is actually in Pittsburgh. This is something completely different, and they make their like own sauce and everything. It's really really good. Bro.
All right. I gotta let you go with that one. All right. First random question. We were talking about this earlier, and this is gonna get some good conversations, y'all. Wheels or doors? Which one's the most?
We're gonna have this debate for real.
We're gonna have this debate because y'all brought it up before camera, and now I have to. Y'all brought it up. So more doors or more wheels?
The conversation again is there more doors or is there more wheels in the world?
Yes.
I think personally, this isn't educated at all, but just like I would say probably more doors, bro. We've been around. Doors have been there for a minute. You feel me?
I'm thinking.
And then because if you we used to have a talk about this. People was talking about small car wheels and stuff. But then we could get even deeper in this. What are you considering a door? You feel me?
I mean a door.
Ooh.
An entryway to a room. A door.
Yeah, but some people use curtains as doors too.
That's facts. That is.
Then you count it as a door.
So I mean, but
would you count that? Would you count that as wheels though? No, because some of them don't slide like that. But there is ones that with curtains slide.
The slides you can't. It's a slider. It's not a wheel. It's on a roller track.
I say there's one more wheels.
I think there's more. I'm gonna say there's more wheels just because I be rolling. So.
I think there's more wheels than doors. I really do think that because I gotta think about just in general you gotta cancel out some areas of the world where it used to be there was no doors, there's just open ways until cement. So that's one. I'm thinking more wheels because 18 wheelers stuff like that. But your point is valid though, because I'm thinking about skyscrapers. I'm thinking about the tallest skyscraper in the world that got 4,000 doors. But also you gotta think about those doors. There's two hatches on the doors. Those are kind of wheels. So it's do you count every screw for that? So it's
some doors have wheels on them too.
And you count both of them.
Yeah, this can get shit. I don't know.
This can get deep. This can take a while.
I just want to know who started the tally.
It was a random TikTok and then it just went viral. Yeah. It just went freaking viral.
Well, someone has to start up the tally then. Shit.
Way too many doors.
All right, so here's a section we got. It's called the pod deck questions. All right, so we have random questions. I don't even know them. You get certain ones like philosophy, hoops, whatever. I'm giving you a choice of what you guys want. We're gonna go through 3 each, hopefully in time, and then we got the alley-oop question afterwards. Cool? Cool. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all. Let me see which categories. I'm gonna give y'all a selection of 3, and y'all can pick 2. Okay. I'm gonna do foodie for 1 since it's the name of the podcast. Let me do. Are y'all big movie heads or no?
I mean, yeah, but I really.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I got film buff, and then the last one I'm gonna do, just because I know you be clutch. We got hoops at the end, so y'all pick 2 out of those. So I'm gonna read that one more time. You got foodie, hoops, or film buff. So y'all pick 2.
You just do foodie and
hoops.
All right,
Hoops.
I was gonna say film, but shit. I mean,
let's do a coin toss.
Nah, I got no chain on me. There's a coin shortage out here, y'all. Y'all ain't hear about that?
Yeah. There's a chicken shortage. There's a coin.
Oh, dude, you remember when it was a chicken shortage and everybody was saying thighs and it was no chicken wings?
Yeah.
It was
no chicken tenders. Wait, hold on. No tenders? They're telling me there's gonna be no.
Nah, I recently went to a Popeyes and I'm pretty sure it still said, "Yo, we're in a chicken shortage." So I don't I don't know what's happening about that, but yo, we got big problems on our hands. No chicken, what? You feel me?
I'm gonna do foodies for the first one. All right. So, what's your favorite breakfast cereal?
Special K. This is a red strawberry one.
Special K?
Yeah, Special K is fire, bro. It's I don't know, that one's a pretty you asked me right at the top of my head, but I like those very those types of cereals. I'm not, because the other ones Captain Crunch and Lucky Charms, they become too sweet for me at a certain point.
We're going beef. I'm a Captain Crunch. I'm Captain Crunch berries. I was fiending those last week. What you?
Dang, I don't even know. Cause I do like me some Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch is
Special K is fire, dude.
Dog, you got that old.
I mean, I do like me some Cheerios. I'll give you that. Yeah. But Captain Crunch,
I have a diet palate of an old white woman, so you feel me? Like, I'll be honest, I don't be eating much at all,
bro. I mean, yeah.
Literally.
All right, this is gonna be interesting because everybody got different nationalities on here. What's the spiciest food you ever eaten?
Oh, dude, I had Howlin' Ray's in LA. It's like a fried chicken spot, and they make like those Nashville chicken sandwiches. And I think I had it like, it was like mild, which is above like meat. Like I don't even know, above medium or whatever. But I've never had something so hot in my life. It felt like there was like literally like I was sweating from my ears. It felt like, bro, it was terrible.
Nah.
I think I want to say like between like Indian and like Thai food.
I was about to say Thai food because because my palate got really, because my wife, because of her palate. So I remember when I kept on getting Thai food for a while, I was like, all right, y'all gotta stop playing with me. But I just like, it was hot and there was like no Thai spicy. So I remember I put down, I was like, Thai spicy, don't play with me. And I got my mouth burned.
I mean, hey,
I asked, and that's what I received. So it was like I got my mouth burned. I was like, don't play with me.
But they ask you the levels at the Thai place, like what levels you begin.
It's always Thai hot, but sometimes when you tell them I want Thai spicy, they give you like they will turn it up for you. I just said Thai spicy, don't play with me, and I guess I hit somebody's mama the wrong way. It's like, all right, like he think he got one. What's his name? Will? Oh nah, he ain't. All right, that's out of the foodie because the foodie don't got none. We got hoops. Hold on, what was this Hall of Fame? When you think about the NBA Hall of Fame, who's the first player that comes to mind?
Do they have to be in the Hall of Fame?
They don't have to be. But if you think about the Hall of Fame, who comes to mind? First person comes to mind.
I would say AI.
Facts.
I mean, I'm a little bit younger than everybody, so I'm gonna just say Kobe, bro.
I mean Kobe in the
That's
Hall.
a good answer.
Like, that's a very good answer. I'm not gonna say the most. I would say Kobe. I mean, that's the first person to come to mind. I grew up with Kobe, everything like that. Currently in the league, though, but outside LeBron, I think Luka, even though it's too early for Luka.
It is still too early.
But he's such an international star that came crossover. I think that's the kind of thing I have for Luka. I'm not saying he's going to get there. I know 825 around, he's going to be like, yeah, he's a master. He's like, yeah, Luka. But I'm like, I think because of that star power that he's going to be in the Hall. Like, I think everyone loves Dirk. But, I mean, Dirk wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame without that one ring. And that one,
I know,
and that one
man.
run.
Don't even remind me of that. Yeah. Oh my god.
So I for me, it's like that is he just needs to get a ring. He's good. Which city do you wish had an NBA team? I'm thinking Seattle. Y'all don't remember that? You talking Kobe? You saw Sonics and all that.
Yeah, but I'm about to say, didn't they have one?
But they don't have because Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yo, Pittsburgh definitely if Pittsburgh had a basketball team, that'd be wicked.
I'm just gonna be biased and say Virginia. Like,
I mean, we got DC, we got the Wizards.
I mean, we got the Wizards, but that's the city. That's the city, and you know how the DMV is. Oh, you can't You can't claim the city. You're not from there. And like, I don't claim the city, but like, I would support city like sports teams. You know what I'm saying? But like,
yeah, I mean, when I lived in like other places, I always told people I was from DC, bro. Like,
it was just so simple. DC.
Yeah, I'm not
depends on who you're
like,
talking because you can't. You're like
Fairfax,
people will call you out.
Like,
I'm from the richest county in Virginia, people.
I'm from the burbs.
Nah, even if you say that, they're like, where? Excuse
right.
me. What?
Ooh, I got a good one. Prime Shaq or Prime Tim Duncan? Prime Shaq. I'm talking without the injury Shaq.
Like Orlando Magic Shaq?
I'm talking like
Lakers Shaq?
Laker 2000 to 02 Shaq. Prime Duncan.
I might be a little bit biased. Just watch like a 30 for 30 on like what was that 30 for 30? It was just like recently on when like the Laker dynasty and everything was happening. You feel me? So
are you talking not winning time? Not that's HBO Max. What Laker dynasty?
Oh no. It was either, I forget who it was on. It was on either Kobe or something like that. But they was talking about the early like Lakers time. So for me, I'm gonna just have to go with I would say Shaq.
I would say Shaq too, just because like he broke the freaking
boards. Yeah.
Like Shaq was a different beast. I mean, I like Tim. Like Tim did his thing. I mean, if you're a Laker fan or if you're a fan of basketball in general, those series were like some of the best series you ever watched in your life. And he got the rings. He got the rings with Pop. And there's nights where you couldn't stop Tim. Like, I think David Robinson's better, but Tim was always.
I didn't really like follow Tim. I mean, like, obviously, like, he is a big, name in the game, but like, I was always more Shaq. Like,
the Spurs was death by 1,000 cuts. Like, it really wasn't like but one
Spurs
star.
Were really, really like good. Like, you remember primetime Spurs? Like, they went back.
Mano,
Mano, like,
Ginobili, all them cats. Oh my, Mano was nasty.
Yeah,
his shot was nice,
like,
too smooth. You couldn't stop it.
That was like the end of the time. Like, I was watching basketball at that time because I think that's right as when Tracy McGrady was leaving the Rockets and shit. You know?
Yeah. Hold on. No. Hold on. Tracy got to the Rockets 06, 08? No.
It was 06. And then he left by like
12, right? Because I remember he had a series with the Lakers. And the Lakers took him out, and I think the 10 or 11 or both. Because I remember this in between all that, because I know Ron Artest jumped over ship. And then when Yao Ming went down, Tracy left. Yeah.
Yo, Yao Ming, crazy.
Yao Ming was a beast.
He shot 1 3 and it was at the Summer Olympics, and I just remember just seeing that and just being like, wow, that's his first thing ever, bro. Like, crazy. Yeah.
Dang, hold on. I'm trying to find one best six man. And this is best six man. Lemon Pepper Lou Williams or Jamal Crawford? Crawford?
I'm not even too...
You talking about sweet Lemon Pepper Lou? Lemon Pepper Lou was on fire though, and he'll go to what's it called afterwards to pick up his
Jamal
wings.
Crawford was clutch. Coming off the bench as a six man.
Look, I take Crawford's crossover over anything though. Crawford's crossover is nasty. It's straight up dirty, nasty. Like, it's nasty. Lou Williams though, when Lou Williams got hot, it was bad. It was. Really,
I mean, give credit where it's due.
Word. One more. Who is the greatest? No, I'm not doing the greatest 3-point shooter ever because I'm not trying to hear no Steph Curry shit. Nah, I did. Actually, hold on. This would be nice. I did this question on last time with the 825. I want to see our opinions. If you were the GM of the New York Knicks, what would be your first priority of the Knicks? Everybody been different. I don't know. Like, I think 825 said last time. He said he would trade, or he'll trade or go like trade for somebody.
I'll just try to get a franchise player. Probably draft a franchise player.
Nah, they draft for the. I mean, that would be your first move. I get that, but not me. I'll go free agency. I'll go fishing.
Really?
I'll go fishing. You know how hard. Could you imagine seeing Zion if the Knicks actually got the actual pick right?
But Zion can't say he can't say healthy.
Oh no, Zion can't say healthy. But you see how drafting could be so iffy. You could have Zion, but I mean they got RJ Barrett, who's not a bad player. But it's just I would just go free agency. It's just you get more free buck and a lot of player movement now. It's free agency is better. And I'm a little bit biased because the one and done in college basketball is really not helping. The game, there's some people that are worth hey, you're a freshman, you're a baller, you can go ahead and do so, John Wall, people like that. But you got some of these other guys are I'm doing 12-10 in college, I'm gonna go to the league real quick, and then they bounce around the league or they go to G League. Yeah. So it's you it's only the top 5-10, and then everybody else is eh. So it's I haven't really liked the state of the draft in years.
It's been bad. Anyone has.
But yo, the Knicks though is a wicked team. I don't know if you guys know that it's owned all by families.
Oh yeah.
Same family. So I think before even players, they need to shake up the whole environment.
You talking about Dolan?
Yeah. They need to shake up the whole environment if they want something to ever happen at the Knicks. You feel me?
But this is when you have it. You own the Knicks. Will be your first priority. I mean, you already taking out the number one guy.
Yeah. No, I would just say from there, like you said, free agency.
Yeah, free agency hunt. All right, so the last question for y'all is called the alley-oop. You've done this before.
Yeah.
But since it's both of y'all, I can do different questions. I got both of y'all. All right. So this is alley-oop, Wally. So you get one question. You get to ask me any question at all. I'll let you know if I answer it or If I answer, you can just ask me another one. We go from there. But I have to ask. You can ask me any question whatsoever.
Favorite like sandwich toppings.
Oh, actually, I've been craving since Subway. Shout out Subway, by the way. Actually, bacon. Because bacon can go on anything, and bacon is one of those things where it's like, look, I just want some like ham sandwich. You can put a little sliced bacon, no problem. Chicken sandwich, put a little bacon on there, no problem. I sound such like a fat boy right now. Chicken bacon, right? Chicken bacon scrimps or shrimps, whatever how you call it. You got that scrimps. Like bacon go on anything, I'll eat it. I'm like that for me. What about you?
My favorite topping?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to see that. Cause I'm saying bacon. I want to see if everybody on my level of fat kid right now. So
I don't know. Like I love burgers. Well, I love.
Yeah, but what you love putting on top of that?
would you love putting on anything? Like you can say avocado spread.
I love jalapenos.
That's my second. I always put jalapeno.
Yeah, I just like a little like kick, you know, or add like an extra little kick to it.
I would say like I love hot sauce on everything. So hot sauce on a burger or sandwich always goes fine.
That's facts. What's your question for me?
When's your next show?
All right. So, I'm actually doing Latif show over in Falls Church on Monday. I'm doing an open mic Monday. That'll be the first time I've done open mic in about 4 or 5 months.
Why the long break?
Sick.
Oh. I've actually answered that, but you hold me. I'm gonna let you. So when my pops passed, my biggest thing about when my pop passed was, all right, let me find my rhythm 5 and everything else. What I've been telling everybody is I had to find funny again because he's such an influence on me when I was thinking about comedy or doing comedy. He would be the first person I text, first person I call, that kind of thing. And then me and my dad never really had that kind of relationship. Like, he'd be the first person I call and everything. And that's fine. That's no problem. But it was one of those things that I immediately bonded with my pops. And we were like, all right, we finally got like somewhere in our relationship really well. So when everything happened, it was like, all right, how do I like doing comedy? I did one show afterwards. I think I did one show sometime in October. And I did fine. Like, it was no problem. But I didn't feel funny. I didn't feel the crowd. I didn't feel anything that I should have felt or like I normally feel after a show. Right. So I remember I sat down with Rose. She was there with me. And I was like, I'm going to need to take a break. And she was like, wow, you did good. And I'm like, it just ain't it. And you get that feeling as an artist. Like, it's like you're doing that right now with your AR work. You're like, you love music, but you're just like there's days you don't want to do and all that. So I took that long enough break. I'm doing the show Monday. I got a show I'm going to Tuesday. So I'm doing back-to-back work there. Shout out to my guy, Jared, over at Shooter's Bar. We're going to be over there Tuesday night at 7:30. So please check us out. That's going to be every other Tuesday, y'all. So by the time y'all get this, follow up on my Instagram. Y'all going to see the show. All right. But nah, it's just really it's just time. But same thing like you. I'm writing. I have notes in my phone that I'm like, all right, this can work here, this can work there, and everything been fine. So it's just like I'm just trying to figure out where the funny is, and it takes time. But I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable now. I'm a lot more used to what I want to say and a lot of stuff I want to say. So I have availability to do that Monday, Tuesday, and then I'm probably gonna get on my grind again and start going to the city a lot more since I'm in Alexandria. That's one of the main reasons why I moved out to Alexandria, because I was like, I'm in Alexandria, I'm 10 minutes away from the city. There's tons and tons of open mics in the city for comedians and artists as well. So please, y'all check that out as well. So that's why I felt like, I'm like, I need to get in the city, because comedy in DC is like a miniature New York in terms of like, you get the nooks and crannies of where people want to go for comedy, but the level of talent in DC is unmatched. Like, I've felt from other comics, like, of course, Dave Chappelle and everything like that. But the level of DC comics that in the city compared to, like, I've seen people come down from New York and having And New York is just the swag. The swag of a New York comic is different. But the swag of a DC comic is a lot more like it's just a regular day life in the DMV. You would never expect somebody to be a comic in there and they're ripping their shit. So I'm really excited for that because I think as any artist, you anticipate what you want in a performance. And that's why I'm starting to yearn back again, like that anticipation, that excitement, more of the like, I gotta do this again, and I gotta figure out like how I'm gonna word this, that, and the third. That hasn't always been there.
It's like very dreadful.
It's dreadful because I tell people this all the time. Like I do jiu-jitsu as well, Wali. And I know, thanks, man. I know like at the end of a tournament or at the end of the match, I know my score. At the end of end of all that, I know my score. For comedy, for this, for comedy, for this, you don't know the anticipation. You don't know the results at the end of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to really like. Same thing with music. You hear the response and like, okay, this is fire. And you don't hear a response, like, all right, that's kind of trash. Yeah. So it's like. That's what you had to learn, but that's actually a really good question. So thank you, sir. All right, but yo, that's it for our show, y'all. It's the INeedFood podcast. One more time from BClutchhh and Wali in the building. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all been wonderful people. Nothing but love. Shout out to Derek on the other camera over there. He over there. But y'all, man, love y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Peace, love, and.
Waiting for the ops, waiting for the devil. Got the drip on me. She take it sip, doing shit you never see, like a dream of crib. Got a shorty in the club, going dumb.